What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the spring finale episode of the Sling'n Proffet podcast. That's right. We are joining us tonight, or we are coming to you live tonight from our spring finale episode. We're going to be taking a couple weeks off after this tonight. Prophet, exciting week. A lot to talk about tonight, but kind of a little different, style of show. We're going to hit on a lot of different topics in the sports world tonight. We're going to talk a little baseball. We're going to talk a little basketball. We're going to talk a little bit about everything in the world. Prophet, how was your week, man?
The week was fine, I just want to let everybody know that I'm here because it is the final show. I put off my hernia operation until after the show was over, just so I could be with the Profiteers again this evening. So the
You mean
timing of it,
slingers?
the Profiteers, yeah, like I said, uh, they come to win money. They don't come to slake.
Well, listen. This here bourbon, first call bourbon. I don't know if you could see it. It's got a nice horse on it. It's got a little trumpet player playing the call to arms. There isn't that the call to arms? Yeah, whatever it is. This was supposed to be a celebratory bottle, Prophet, because I hit it big, baby. I hit the Derby, and I am filthy rich, and this was supposed to be a celebratory bottle. Unfortunately, life had other plans, Prophet, and I'm wearing this hat. And this hat says Trip, and this is my son's hat that was kindly given to him at a birthday party. He doesn't know what the hell a hat is or a birthday party. I figured it was fitting tonight because
his head could be that big, though, already.
It could be, but this week, Prophet, has been an absolute friggin' trip, and I don't do this often, but I'm starting this show off with a little Sling'Cha because I need it, and I'll talk about it here in a minute.
Salute.
Man, what a week it's been, Prophet. Let me tell you something, brother. Let's get into it. Started off on Saturday. We had a birthday party for my 4-year-old daughter. We were going to go to the park. Of course, it rains. We have to cancel the park. We have everybody over at the house. Nice enough day. Everybody came out. We had a good time. We had, pizza party. We had cupcakes, the whole 9 yards. We watched the Derby. I had about probably, I'd say 8 to 12 mint juleps. I'm not sure. This bottle was full when we started. It is now not full. But then comes Derby time, and
you knew you were going to win.
What's that?
You knew you were going to win.
Yeah, I had an inkling. We had 6 horses in our play. I picked 3. Laura picked 3. And guess what? It came out, man. And we're watching the Derby, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit. I don't want to touch on it too much, but man, when that Derby hit, I was holding Trip, and I'm holding Trip. I'm yelling, "Let's go!" Blah, 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 blah. They'll fire it up, and the finish comes out, and I'm like, dude, I just won, and I'm like, Laura, take the baby. I just won $5,000. There's no way that exact is not going to pay $5,000. Exacta came out. Exacta paid $100, $150, whatever it might be. So that was buzzkill number 1.
Sorry.
And I looked like a fool because everybody was all excited for me, and then I read them the text message you sent me, and it said you might get your money back, which was $60. And I said, what the hell are you talking about? I'm expecting to be rich here. I'm going to buy a boat. That didn't happen. That was number 1. Number 2 is Sunday is Cinco de Mayo, right? So I figure we're going to go to, maybe not a Mexican place because they're probably going to be mobbed on Cinco de Mayo, but let's try a little Taco Bell. Let's go to Taco Bell. Maybe we'll get some tacos, a couple Supremes, maybe a little sour cream, throw a little cheese on there if you want to get crazy. I'm like, all right, what do you guys want from Taco Bell? Well, Taco Bell isn't what Taco Bell used to be in the 90s and early 2000s, okay? Taco Bell is now a complete freaking and utter ripoff. I go there, I get the party pack, which is 12 tacos, and I get 2 of them because it's me, Kaylee, Maddie, and Laura. And I'm like, all right, we're going to eat more than 12 tacos. They're easy to eat. And they ring them up and they say $66 profit. Now I know that you got your money because you're the prophet. You make money. You win a lot. Blah blah blah. That's probably nothing to you. All right. But when I'm talking about $31 for 12 tacos, I had to take a double take. And I was ready to drive to K. I can't sit here and realistically pay $66 for 24 tacos.
I didn't win that much on the race.
I barely cleared that on the friggin' ponies. So I'm sitting in line and I'm like, dude, I'm ready to blow this drive-through. I'm just gonna do it. And I look in and I see this little pimple face fart making my friggin' tacos, and I feel bad for him because he's probably making a hell of a lot more money than I am. Thanks a lot. Never mind, I'm not gonna go down that road. But hey, we're we gotta raise the minimum wage. He's probably doing quite well, and that's why my tacos are $66. So I went home, and you're damn well right that I slathered myself in those tacos and made them the best damn tacos that I ever had. That was number 2. Number 3 happens right before the show. My 4-year-old daughter decides to come down as I'm prepping to get ready and say, Dad, the toilet is not flushing. I said, what the hell could she possibly be talking about? The toilet's not flushing. So I go up, and this kid must have did the old, everybody tries to do it. Let's see how much toilet paper we can get in the friggin' toilet and flush it and see if it still works. Well, it doesn't work. And I don't have a plunger in the house, so now my toilet upstairs is clogged and overflowing while I'm down here doing this podcast. You think I'm not dedicated? You think I'm not dedicated? I stuck my hand up there. Still didn't work. So now I just got a shitty smelling hand and a clogged toilet, Prophet. It's been a hell of a week for me. Well, I'm almost out. I'm almost out. I'm almost out. So it's been a hell of a week for me. All right. It's been a trip, hence the hat. I'm looking forward to talking some sports. I'm looking forward to having some good witty banter. We got a lot of fun topics tonight. And then I'm looking forward to a little bit of time off. We're gonna take a few weeks off, and we didn't discuss when we're coming back, Prophet, but I think we're gonna have a little lengthy break here, just so the people know. I don't plan on coming back until at least I put us. If we're gonna do the previews for all the NFL divisions and stuff like we've done before, which I would like to do, you go through each team and stuff like that. We're gonna need at least 8 weeks to do that, right? The opening football game is September 8th, whatever it might be. I plan on coming back sometime late June, I would say. But we'll leave it at that.
I'll come back mid-June.
Okay. You don't even know how to turn on your damn microphone, let alone run this show, okay? So let's not get that started. All right?
Well, let me back you up a little bit, okay? You say, yes, okay, I can afford $66 tacos, okay? But when at Taco Bell is me and Mrs. Prophet's favorite fast food place, okay? And when we go there, she builds a box or whatever the hell it is, and I get a couple of burritos off the $3 menu, and we stuff ourselves for like $17.
Yeah, that's bull crap. That's bull crap because there's no way that you're getting stuffed off of those little dollar menu burritos. I've had them. They're very thin. I don't know what the prices are like down in Tennessee, but up here in New Jersey, all right, it's not that cheap.
What you need to do is you need to petition your governor to bring a Jack in the Box into the area, okay, where you get 2 tacos for $1. And that, and
I don't know if that's the case anymore. There's still Jack in the Boxes around here. We could get somebody from California or something to chime in and see if they still do.
Last year when we were in Texas, they were 2 for $1. Big Will can testify to it. Me and Mrs. Prophet, we ordered 24 of them ourselves because we could eat them, but it was cheap.
I I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. I've never experienced a Jack in the Box, so it's on the to-do list. It's on the to-do list, Prophet. I did experience what did I have when I was in Vegas? The Heart Attack Grill. We went there one time. You ever been there? Heart
now,
Attack Grill. If you're
but we
over
were
if you're over 300 and something pounds, you eat for free. So I wasn't that big yet, but now I can go back and I definitely can get a free meal out of them while
but
I'm there.
we had taco. I mean, Jack in the Box out in Vegas a few years back, and we actually walked. It was like, yeah, well, we took a cab to the Jack in the Box, and when we got out, we were looking. The strip doesn't look that far. We can walk. We ain't gonna wait for a cab, and we started walking. And yeah, we should have waited for a cab after eating all them damn tacos and
Yeah, your intestines are starting to move around when you're walking and stuff like that. That ain't a good combination. But
yeah, no,
anyway,
that's
I digress, and nobody wants to hear me complain. Everybody wants to hear me happy and excited like I typically am, and that's how I'm going to be for the rest of the show because the point of it is, Prophet, I hit a bet. So we'll talk about it later in the show in our plays of the week segment. But I'm back, man. I got some bankroll. I called it last week. I told you last week that this exactly was going to hit. So I don't need that look. I don't need you shaking your head. It happened. You can go back and rewatch the show if you want to, or you don't have to. But it happened. And I picked the winners. And while we're at it, let's dive into the Derby here. How about that?
well. Okay, well, let me preface the before we get started here. Okay, guys. The first couple of segments I'm prepared for later on because Sling just put everything up about 20 minutes ago. I'm going to be coming off the cuff with my responses. I didn't have
Listen, I
time to.
told you. Nobody cares if you're prepared or not, Prophet. All right, you always act like you're prepared. You got me. Don't ever let them know that you didn't prepare. All right, because
Oh,
quite
look,
frankly,
my
quite
50%
frankly,
is better than most 100%, so that's fine. I
quite
mean, but
frankly, I did not have the time today to
that's
build this
it, Larry.
show. What do you say? What did Larry say?
Well, we're going to taco it, not wing it.
Yeah, wing it. Here we go. We're going into our what's happening segment, and let's talk about the Derby, Prophet. All jokes aside here, this was a great race. There's nothing better to me than the day of the Kentucky Derby. Man, I wake up early and I try and get all my chores done so that way I could start drinking by like 10 o'clock. You always get your first post time around 10:30, 10:40, and we're just racing all day. And then we get to that Derby around 7 o'clock, and we're everybody's walked the red carpet. You got all your celebrities, your who's who of people are there. Becky Lynch was there. Seth Rollins was there. Not that I'm a Seth Rollins fan, but what a great race it was. And my horse that I talked about last week, Mystic Dan, the Mudder, even though the track wasn't muddy, he came through and got the job done, Prophet, in one of the best races that I remember in a while, man. That was close, start to finish, and it was exciting 2 minutes, probably the most exciting 2 minutes I've had in a long time. But it was a really, really good race to watch. It was a really good race to win. And if that damn 11 wasn't in there, man, I would have had the damn trifecta. What did you think about the race as a whole?
The whole, it was a great race. There's no doubt about it. One of the more exciting ones in recent memory. I had a lot of bad luck on Saturday. Number one, last week I told you guys everything in horse racing, everything changes the day, the day of because the conditions and all, and yeah, the three horse was the Mutter, but that track was a quagmire at noontime. And they said that it was fast, and it probably was fast, okay, come race time, but it was still wet. So that's what played into the three horse. The three horse ran a great race. There's no doubt about it. Majestic Dan, I think it was.
Mystic Dan.
Mystic Dan, yeah.
Yeah.
I had put out to all the followers later on Saturday the 11 horse which I absolutely ended up loving. I mean, I still love the 19, and the bad thing about the Derby, okay, it's like, I don't know if people ever watch races from like England and France and all. There's 20, 25 horses in it. It's a tough race to handicap simply because of traffic. And our 19 resilient, okay, he was coming when he was at the top of the stretch, coming around home. He was making a move, and then he got boxed in. I'm not saying he would have won the race, but he would have. It would have been a lot different. The good thing about that is that that's a horse to watch for the Preakness now if he runs in it.
Did Mystic Dan confirm he was running or not?
No, not yet. McPeak has not confirmed that yet. I think he said he's not going to. He has until the 10th or something to make the call, and he's going to wait.
When's the last Triple Crown winner? Justify?
Was it Justify in California Chrome? They did him like a couple of years apart.
Yeah, you go that long without having a Triple Crown, and you have two in
two in like 3 years, I think it was. See, I ran into a lot of bad luck on Saturday myself. Okay, and I'd like to reach out and thank DRF Bets for being such freaking idiots. Okay,
hold on, I got one for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks a lot, DRF, for nothing. DRF more like F you.
I mean, I've been playing with DRF now for about 8 years. Okay, as my main play.
DRF is Daily Racing Forum for those of you who don't know.
But this year, in past years, they don't take bets on any of Churchill Downs tracks, which is Churchill Downs, I think Arlington Park, and maybe Ellis Park. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. Okay, but in past years, they've always given us the option with another express bet where they transfer your funds over and you can play the Derby. Well, this year, Saturday morning, I come to find out that can't happen. Okay, they're not taking bets on the Derby at all from Churchill. So I have to open up another account, and I'm only able to open up an account with $200. So
why? Were you strapped that day or what?
No, because that's all. Because for some reason I opened up an account with NYRA, which is New York Racing Association bet, but they wouldn't take They wouldn't take a credit or debit card. It had to be a check, and your first deposit can only be $200. So after putting in plays for Sling and a good friend of mine, I had $5 left in the freaking account. And I called
and
them up.
I usually would have played my own plays, but like I said, I had a birthday party I was getting ready for. I couldn't get over to the track.
That's not the point, Sling. That's not the point. It's the bull crap that come on. I could have put $50,000 in that account and it would have been guaranteed. But I was only allowed to put $200 in it. Like, come on.
That's probably why they do it, because it's guaranteed. They put a cap on it, just like those no lose bets on DraftKings. You put a $25 minimum or maximum on it.
Well, after the 10th, it is okay when my check clears for sure. Okay, then there's no limit on my deposits. It makes absolutely no sense. Bottom line is, okay, I figured it all out, and I would have lost a couple $100 because I would have had the exacta. I would have had the trifecta also. So
you're lucky. You're lucky that you didn't play then, because we saved you some money. It sounds like a real. It sounded like a kind of like a real horror story for you, Prophet. Is that safe to say?
Well, it was.
Well, that's great, because that leads us into our next topic here. Everybody's favorite tight end, Travis Kelce, lands his role on a hit show, American Horror Story. Prophet, you ever watch American Horror Story?
I never even heard of it before.
You never heard of it? It's a very popular show.
My guess is that Toots had something to do with him landing that job too. What's her name?
I'm not going to entertain that.
Blondie. I can't remember.
I'm
I
not
can't
going to
even
entertain
remember
that.
her name
You
now.
can say the woman's name, okay? Anyway, my point is Travis Kelce's doing a lot this offseason, but it doesn't seem like he's doing a lot of football or training. Coming off a year where he wasn't his best, what do you put into this? Is he going Hollywood here, Prophet?
Yeah, it sure looks like it.
I mean, you're talking about, flying to Barcelona for concert tours. You're taking roles in some shows on network television. You got your own podcast, which probably isn't as well received as this one, to be honest with you.
I actually heard we've got about 70,000 more viewers than he does.
Yeah, so. And about $70,000 less for whatever reason. So,
well, yeah, we don't have Blondie working for us.
Yeah, we're still trying to work that out, but we're definitely higher rated than them in the rankings. But yeah, I mean, I just think I think Travis Kelce, he reminds me of The Rock with WWE. Like just he's all Hollywood, man, and he'll come back to the NFL and he'll be half the man he used to be, and we'll see what happens. And I can't imagine he's playing longer than this year. What do you think?
Nah, and you know what? I mean, he's in the twilight of his career, so he got an opportunity to do this. Yeah, good for him. I would like to see him, and I don't know this personally. I don't know him personally. He may be working out in between,
I'm sure
pictures and Barcelona runs and all, but this team's really going to need him this year, and.
Yeah, you're not kidding. And damn, that would have been a great segue. Matter of fact, let's talk about it now. It's only one slide, but dude, you talk about this team's going to need him. Why are they going to need him, Prophet? Because of this guy right here on the screen. We'll call him Can't Get Right, Rashee Rice. Okay, not only is he going to be in trouble for the damn car accident, but news dropped the other day that he was arrested for assault in a nightclub less than a month ago. So this guy has just gotten trouble written all over him. I don't know, if the Chiefs are going to wind up cutting ties with him. Again, he had himself a little bit of a breakout towards the end of the year, but is that juice worth the squeeze? Because, he's getting into a lot of legal trouble. What do you make of this situation? What do you think is going to happen here with this guy?
Well, I personally think that if the NFL is going to act, they need to act now, okay? Just to save face with this situation. I mean, too many times, you read about
Rice is cooked.
Yes, and not slow either. But the NFL wants to wait and see. They want to wait and see. Let the legal system play out. Okay, as far as this assault goes, I can understand that because, right now it's a he said, she said type deal. But this guy openly admitted to being the driver of the car that caused the accident, to taking off from the scene, okay? He's already admitted to it. Why do you need to wait for the legal system to play out? Suspend his ass, let the Chiefs know what they got to do to replace him, and move on. I mean, save some face, NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because you don't want to have a knee-jerk reaction here, and you can't suspend the guy for the entire season right now.
Right now, right? But you can for half a season.
Yeah, but Calvin Ridley can be suspended for the full season for dropping a couple DraftKings bets.
Right. This guy
kind of a catch-22 here in the NFL, and nobody really knows who the rules apply to or what the rules actually are. And it's it's a little disturbing at times because these guys, they don't need to do what they're doing. They don't need to drive 150 miles an hour. They don't need to go to nightclubs. They don't need to beat the crap out of people, but they still choose to do it. It's like guys who get DUIs in the NFL. How the hell do you get a DUI in the NFL?
Right.
When you're making
what with all the
millions of
Ubers and
dollars a year.
Sober Sam's available to you, everything available to you. You got all the money, and But I honestly think these kids should have to go through some kind of course in school, in college to try and get them prepared for the real
Not for
world.
nothing. I believe that the NFLPA has mandatory classes and stuff like that, like how to act, how to handle your money, stuff like that. I could be wrong there, but I know that they have resources available to these young guys, man. And no, Sober Sam is not still around, unfortunately. So I think Uber and Lyft put them out of business. Terry or Mrs. Proffet wanted to know. Talking about DUI though, and let's give a round of applause here to the World Boxing Council, because the WBC stripped their middleweight champion, Jermar Charlo. He's the middleweight champion. Okay, they stripped him of the title. He's the middleweight title following his arrest this week on suspicion of drunken driving in Texas. All right, so here's a professional sports organization. Even though one might argue that boxing might be a dying breed, there's still a niche market for it. But you got the World Boxing Council, which is a huge the organization when it comes to boxing. And they say, we're not going to put up with it. We're not going to tolerate this kind of crap. You're our champion. You're going to act like it. You want to go out and get a DUI and represent this company in a negative light? We're taking the belt. And they did. So bravo to them. I don't know if it's a little too harsh, maybe. I think, things happen sometimes. There's no real excuse for it. But to take the title, I don't know if the stripping of the title matches the relevancy of a DUI. What do you think about this whole situation?
This is a funny thing here. Okay, number one, I'm not into boxing. I haven't watched a boxing match since Michael Spinks kissed the canvas against Mike Tyson. It cost me $59.95 to watch on pay-per-view like 30 years ago. And when the guy had no heart to get in and make his $5 billion.
You gonna watch the Mike Tyson fight against Jake Paul over the summer?
No.
What? Oh, come on, Prophet. Oh, that's just come on. That's
if it's going to be a part of the show, I'll have to watch it.
Must-see television, and they said it's going towards their professional records. It's not an exhibition; it's a sanctioned boxing match. Boxing match.
We'll see. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But
all right, tell me how you feel about this. At any
rate, I tried looking up, because I really don't know anything about this guy Charlo, and I tried looking it up, and I'm finding mixed stories. It's like this all came down yesterday, but yet I'm saying that he hadn't defended his title since 2021, and he was stripped of it back then, and they gave the title to some other guy in 2022. So I don't know what I was reading.
Wow, sounds like somebody's got their stories mixed up, huh? Maybe my intel isn't that great, but it's not uncommon for boxers to take sabbaticals, not fight for a while.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that if he hasn't defended his title since 2021, is this really a big deal that they stripped him of it? So, I don't know. Either you have some bad info or I have some good willy, or I'm not sure, but something's weird about this story.
Well, let's keep an eye on it. I've been keeping an eye on our Glacier Range Riders and a National Park Service lawsuit, but there's no new news to report there. We'll definitely keep you guys posted on that, because I know everybody wants those Range Riders to win. So no news to report.
I heard that the season ticket sales, has gone up by 10% since our show. For the Glaciers.
I'll be honest with you. With over 6,000 views on our video clip, standing up for the Range Riders, I'm surprised they don't make us friggin' honorary owners.
They might. Maybe they'll fly us out to Montana and
I
treat us
wouldn't
like
mind. I
royalty.
wouldn't mind to go to Montana. We'll stay on the a couple nights on the Dutton Ranch.
Yeah,
Me and everybody says I look like Rip anyway, so we could throw a couple yellow jackets back.
Rip
Maybe
Van
me and
Winkle.
what's that other guy's name? Who's the old guy? Lloyd. Me and Lloyd. I like Lloyd.
Rip Van Winkle.
No,
That-
Rip Wheeler. And if you don't watch your mouth, I'm going to send you to the train station, Prophet, because this train only runs one direction, pal. All right, we're moving on. I don't know why we just gained a whole lot of viewers when I was doing my Rip impression. So
it's all the women, man.
yeah, I know.
They heard Rip. They wanted to tune in.
Speaking of Rip, this
Hey,
guy, Prophet, that's not politically correct, pal. Mizuhara, famous for being Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, is set to plead guilty in the Ohtani betting case. First of all, Prophet, this happened quick. Right? This guy's going to plead out right away. Like, he's not even going to take it to trial. He's just going to accept his punishment. They said he stole over $17 million to pay back his debts from Ohtani. He's looking at bank fraud and something else, but they said the one charge, the bank fraud, carries a maximum sentence of 30 years in federal prison. Like, this guy is cooked, man. This guy is done. And I maybe he's going to plead guilty and accept a lighter sentence. I'm sure something's going to happen like
Probably
that, but
will.
there ain't no way this guy's getting out of jail time, right?
No, not especially not with a haircut like that. Mo Larry the cheese.
All right. I gotta take a second. Prophet. Listen, you're terrible, dude. You're absolutely terrible. Like, this poor guy's looking at the rest of his life in prison, and all you can think about is his haircut and looking like the damn Three Stooges. All right,
Hey,
listen.
he sure watched our show, and then he would have been getting win picks from me, and he wouldn't need 17 million.
They don't. He's
fool.
not. Oh my God, he's not oriented to our way of life, Prophet. He didn't know he was doing anything wrong. He didn't know he was illegally betting or stealing from Shohei, or he was going to get caught. One or the other. He didn't know. So let's cut the guy a little bit of a break. I feel bad. He's going to go to prison for 30 years. Holy crap. He was just following around working for the best baseball player in the land.
Yeah.
Here today, gone tomorrow, and now you're looking at federal prison. They don't treat you very well in federal prison.
Well, that's not necessarily true because if you get a room next to Lucky Luciano or little Joey or whatever, you can be taken care of.
I imagine the language barrier in this prison stay is going to be a prop. Well, I guess he's interpreter, so maybe it won't be too bad.
Well, he can understand Italian.
Yeah. Look at that haircut. He looks like an Italian.
You're an Italian. You ain't got
I'm
hair
moving
like
on.
that.
Speaking of Europeans, our Olympic torch. Look at this picture, baby. Our Olympic torch, Old Faithful, Old Glory, is on its way, making its trip to Paris. Prophet, we got we don't only have football this summer, okay, to talk about. We got the Olympics to talk about.
Oh yeah.
And I love the Olympics. I think we got some new sports added this year, don't we? Or I know there's flag football coming. I don't know if it's this year or the next Olympics, but flag football is coming to the Olympics. We got beach volleyball. We got golf, which was fun last time. I think that'll be the second. That's just the second go around for golf, if I'm not mistaken. I like watching the Olympics. What's your favorite Olympic sport, Prophet?
The luge. I'm a.
The Summer Olympics.
Oh, okay. You be a little more specific. Um,
What?
I'm not. I don't know. I kind of like the track and field events. Yeah, like a
Yeah.
lot of the sprinting. Nah, I'm not real big on the marathon stuff, but
I used to love the
swimming's
gymnastics.
cool. Yeah,
I like the
gymnastics are cool too.
gymnastics. I'll never forget, the Olympics of '96 down in Atlanta. First of all, famous for numerous reasons. The bombing, obviously, great documentary on Netflix came out of that. I forget the name of it, but if you get a chance to watch it, go watch that. But my childhood crush, man. I wrote her letters. Me and my buddies wrote her letters, and she never answered us. That bitch, Dominique Moceanu. Never forget it. Olympic gymnast Dominique, if you're listening to this, first of all, you missed your chance. Second of all, I don't even want you to answer my letter anymore. All right, you get a letter from a friggin' 8-year-old kid, and you're not gonna respond.
Yeah,
Can't imagine
that's crappy.
can't imagine too many people were writing Dominique Moceanu letters back in the day.
I'm sure they were. I mean,
I
hell,
don't think so.
you wrote her 86 yourself.
Yeah, well, I had time on my hands. There was no such thing as cell phones.
Right.
I was ready to run away to Atlanta to find Dominique, but I didn't get very far. I think I made it to the Wawa.
What was it? 2 for $1 hoagie day.
Yeah, I think now you know what it was. It was the youth center. They were selling the penny Swedish fish. I got a bag of Swedish fish. That's all the money I had. Gave me $1. I'm coming for you, Dominique. Wait for me. Still haven't heard from you, Dominique. Maybe you'll see this. I don't know, but doesn't matter. It's too late. Too late now. We're
Yeah,
moving on.
you missed
We're
your
moving.
chance.
Yep. Speaking of heating up, summertime. Let's talk a little bit of basketball, Prophet. We haven't talked about a whole lot of basketball at all in this show. NBA playoffs are heating up, and I know you're looking over your papers. You're like, where the hell did this come from? Well, I just added this right before the show.
Yeah, no
You
kidding.
weren't ready for this. So
Contraire.
Contraire. Okay. I'm not ready for this. I'm trying to read this logo here and see who's still playing. No, I'm just trying to read the bracket here. We're in the semifinals here. So the Western Conference semis, we got the Thunder versus the Mavericks. Does Mark Cuban still own the Mavericks?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think he was talking about selling or something like that. He was one of my favorite guys and quickly turned into a real scumbag, man. Yeah, he's a weirdo, man. Talk about extreme leftist, but leave that for another day. So we got the Thunder versus the Mavs in the one bracket, and then we got the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. Minnesota leads that series 2-0 already, and Oklahoma City is up 1-0 on the Mavs. And then we got the Eastern Conference semis. We got the Celtics and the Cavaliers. Boston is up 1-0. And we got the Indiana Pacers, the 6th seed, they knocked off Milwaukee there against your New York Knickerbockers, who put an end to the Sixers season abysmally, because Sixers underachieved yet again for another year. Prophet, I be honest with you, man, I don't know a whole lot of what's going on. I don't know about any of these teams, but I think you got something to say. I think you know something. Who do you like coming out of the West? Who do you like coming out of the East? And you got a prediction for the finals here?
No, yeah, I mean, I can throw something out there. I looked it over in depth today, and I'm a little upset with the NBA. I mean, they do all this crap at the end of the season with these playing games, and I'm not sure that I totally understand how it works. But at the end of the day, you got 8 teams left, and 7 of the 8 teams were the top 7 teams in the league, and the 8th team was the 9th ranked team in the league. So you got all the chalk anyhow. So Why not eliminate that stupid play-in stuff that they do, which I still don't understand. But yeah,
Money, 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 money.
I mean,
That's all it is.
it's
Profit. You know, it's to make
sure,
money. I mean,
sure.
you
It's
get
about
people
right.
excited for a game or two, and it's another way to sell out another stadium, another arena. You get TV rights. You get
But
concessions, all that stuff.
But
Blah blah blah.
when we talk like about the NCAA, when a team like College of Charleston, is playing in the Final Eight, man, everybody is pumped. Looking for the underdog. To keep on going. It's Cinderella team. There ain't no Cinderella here in the NBA. And I mean it's chalk, and it's probably going to end up that way. It's probably going to be Boston and Denver in the finals. Oak City, though, Oak City did win the division this year. I don't know. I see Boston and Denver in the finals.
Yeah, Boston and Denver, the Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets, right? The Nuggets.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's the big player on each team? Do you know?
I don't.
Mm.
I don't. I know Dallas has a guy named Doncic or something.
Well, that's Luka. Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Is that the guy who absolutely hates playing basketball?
I'm not
Or
sure.
is that Jokic or whatever? There's one guy who's like the best player in the league, and he just hates being here in America and playing basketball, and he hates talking to the media. It's actually quite comical because his post-game press conferences are awesome because, they'll ask him, they'll be like, "Oh, this is such a huge game. Did you have any nerves?" And he'll be like, "No." One word answer, and I remember they won. I can't remember who it was, but they won the championship a year or two ago, and somebody said, "Are you looking forward to the parade?" And he looks over at, I guess, his PR guy or whatever. He says, "When's the parade?" He says, "Oh, Wednesday." He's like, I'm going home. I'm not going to be here for this parade." And he's like flipping out. I wish I remembered who it was.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, Meadowlark Lemon still plays for the Knickerbockers. I could be wrong though, but
I need a new chair, by the way. Let's get that happening while we take a couple weeks off. This chair kills me.
well, you know what? Get our first sponsor to get us new chairs and
Yeah, Lazy Boy.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. We're moving on here. We got a couple more things to talk about. Proffet. The big news in the sports world that isn't sports is the Netflix special that aired on, was it Sunday night? What's today, Wednesday? Yeah, I think it was Sunday night. The greatest roast of all time, Tom Brady. All right, it's been a while since there's been roast. Proffet. Ever since America went woke, roasts aren't a thing anymore. They haven't been a thing. So it was kind of refreshing to kind of come by and see another roast happening. Larry chimes in. He says it was brutal. The thing that was brutal for me was it was 3 hours friggin' long. Okay. First of all, it was 3 hours long. Second of all, you had a bunch of people up there roasting Tom Brady. Some of them were like, okay, this makes sense. And then some of them were like, who the hell is this person? Now, Proffet, I'm going to scold you a little bit because this is the absolute hottest trending topic in the world right now, and you didn't see it. So I'm a little disappointed in you for that.
Correct.
But I will preface it with I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. The one thing that I did not like, and people are going to be, call me what you want. My buddies in the group chat are busting my chops. They beat I don't want to say beat to death because that's kind of a pun, but they beat the whole Aaron Hernandez situation so big. Like, I listen, I knew that there's going to be a joke or two about Aaron Hernandez killing himself. I understand that. But I did not think that they were going to make 10 to 15 to 20 jokes about Aaron Hernandez. And I just think, listen, it's a roast. It's comedy. It's fun. I don't give a crap about Aaron Hernandez, about joking about Aaron Hernandez. I give a crap about the fact that he's got a 12-year-old daughter, and the daughter is an innocent bystander in the whole thing, and she's got to go to school the next day and, listen to kids say, oh, and granted, kids shouldn't have been watching this anyway, but the truth of the matter is they are. And they say, whoa, Tom Brady, is talking crap about your dad, your dead dad. I just didn't like that. I don't think it was necessary. Granted, you knew that there was going to be a couple. Other than that, they talked about Giselle, cheating on Tom with the jiu-jitsu trainer. They talked about Tom, there was a lot of Bill Belichick hate. There was a lot of Robert Kraft. Well, no, one joke was made about Robert Kraft, and then Tom immediately got up and whispered in the ear of the comedian, Jeff Ross, to don't say that shit again. So apparently Robert Kraft was off limits. He was in attendance. He was off limits, but Aaron Hernandez was free game, which I didn't understand. Again, I thought it was good. It was 3 hours. It was a little too long, but pretty much every person was pretty good except Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck came out there and just I don't know, man. It was weird. I thought Drew Bledsoe was on there. It was hilarious. Drew Bledsoe was hilarious. Randy Moss was not funny at all, I don't think, but he was all right. Gronk was funny. Bill Belichick was funny, man. It was a good watch. You need to go back and watch it. I think you'll laugh. But again, it gets to a point where I'm like, all right, I don't need to hear one more joke about friggin' Aaron Hernandez hanging himself, so. But I know we talked a little bit about the show. What's your thought on roasts? Like, I'm happy to see a roast come back personally because, maybe it means that America is in we're changing our thought process. We're allowed to have fun. We're allowed to joke about things. We're allowed to make fun of people. We're allowed to be politically incorrect in good fun. What do you think about roast, and what's your opinion on them from a whole perspective?
Well, hell, I'm going back years. I used to love them. Yeah. I mean, some of the funniest watch was, Johnny Carson and Rodney Dangerfield, Bob Hope, I mean, tearing each other apart at their roast. It was great. But then things started changing over the years, and I don't know, maybe the 3, 4 last ones that I've seen, they all just got, it wasn't funny. The stuff wasn't funny. The material wasn't funny. It was very political. It was like, this ain't even worth my time now, based on what you've been saying, and I see a lot of people are remarking about it. Maybe I should go back and watch it. My question is, should I invite Willie, or is it going to be good without him?
I don't think you need Willie. And Larry made a good point. If you break it up, this is what we did. We broke it up into 2 nights, and it was great. I think if you watch it up, and you could watch and keep this in mind, watch it up until Bill Belichick, watch Bill Belichick, and then after Belichick, turn it off, and then come back the next night and start when Belichick leaves, and you're good there. But that's what I did. So I thought it was funny. Like I said, it's nice to see comedy back. There was some raunchy stuff, man. There was some serious, like, you talk about people getting canceled. Like, that's what was the beautiful part of it. Like, nobody was afraid to get canceled because everybody was laughing, everybody was having a good time. So,
and raunchy's great if it's funny, and I mean, hell, I hope you're right. I hope it is maybe a change of times again, because we're just getting too stuffed shirt as a country anymore. That we need stuff like this that makes people where you can joke about somebody without having to worry about hell, the organizations all trying to shut you down. Comedy is comedy.
Right. And it goes back to big business too. Like, you can't say anything without the fear of repercussion. And a lot of these guys got endorsement deals and stuff like that. Like, you're worried about losing endorsements. And I think once we start getting away from that, and I'm not going to get into this too much further because it can go down a road that I don't want it to go down. But once we start getting away from that, I think we'll be better off. But Yeah, it's funny. You got to check it out. And like I said, it's one of the most talked about topic right now. And you need to get on that sooner than later there, Prophet.
I see Larry said Kevin Hart was great. Kevin Hart,
Kevin Hart was the host,
Kevin,
so Kevin
he,
Hart did a really good job.
Kevin Hart, he makes me laugh no matter what I say, even when he's on them stupid DraftKings commercials.
Yeah, he did a good job. He was the host of the night, so he was good. But we're moving on, and guess what, Prophet?
It's
We don't
time.
do it's time, and we don't do it a whole lot. We're going to talk some baseball tonight, and we're not going to spend a long time on it. I don't want to spend too long because if we can get out of here, in relatively with a short show, I'm okay with that too. But we haven't done it in a while. We haven't hit the weekly roundup segment in a while. So here we go. It's back, baby. What a great song.
It is.
I gotta give props to the writer. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're talking about the weekly roundup, and it's not necessarily the weekly roundup as you think of it, but it was just an excuse to bring the segment back for the week before we go on a little spring vacation here. We're going to talk about our surprises of the MLB season so far, Prophet. Could be good surprises, could be bad surprises, could be teams. I think most of them are teams, right? I don't think we have any individual players, right?
I just went with teams.
Yeah, I did too. And I know we have one that's the same, so I think I get dibs on it because I live here and I actually am a fan. And I'm going to go first. And I'm going to go first with them. My biggest surprise so far of the MLB season is the Philadelphia Phillies. All right. And I will say that I am not a Philly fan in regards to football, but I am absolutely 100% a Phillies fan in regards to baseball. I love the Phillies. I like to maybe I'd probably go to a game a year, maybe. Not as many as I would like to, but I love watching them. I root for them. I'm all in on the Phillies. That is one sport that I can get behind. Like I said, I usually don't affiliate myself with any teams, but the Phillies are one of them. Phillies have been a pleasant surprise after, their unexpected World Series run last year. Got guys like Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto and young guys like Stott and Bohm and some newcomers out there that are just kind of like, Ranger Suarez coming out of nowhere pitching like friggin' Cy Young, man, and just being lights out. So the Phillies are first in the NL East, which is kind of rare because at this point of the season, they're usually second to last because they're underachieving and then they make their run late in the season. So I'm hoping the fuel doesn't run out of the fire. But you're talking about guys like Alec Bohm, who's hitting 346, leading the team in RBIs and with 32 RBIs. Bryce has got 9 home runs. They took a lick today. They took a big loss today during the afternoon slate, but they've been playing hot, man. I'm excited about it. I would like to see them win the division outright for the year, but there's obviously still a long time left in the season. But these guys are notorious for starting off slow and then finishing strong. I'm not used to this whole coming out fast and finish or starting out fast. So I'm kind of like excited that we're navigating these waters and see if they can hold on to it. I know you had the Phillies as one of your teams too. Go ahead and why don't you hit on them? Hit on them now because it would probably be a good time to do that.
Sure, and the fact that they're playing well is not the surprise. The fact that they're playing well now, to me, is the surprise. Okay, because like you said, I mean, the past few years they've been notorious slow starters, and then they come on at the end of the year. Hell, going into today, they had the best record in baseball. They're number 3 in overall pitching, number 3 in overall batting. I mean, they're playing lights out. They the key is now, do they keep it up?
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, though, like, you got to admit, you say what you want about Philly fans, but watching those playoffs last year, that stadium is unlike any other stadium when it comes to crowd, just an atmosphere. You go in there during the playoffs, man, you're a young starting pitcher, you're going to be rattled. You have to be. Because it's unlike anywhere else, and you could get that sense when you watch other games, like when the Phillies went to Arizona last year, and I know Arizona wound up beating them, but it just wasn't like, it's not the same. And you go to Philly in the playoffs, and it's a really tough place to play. So, like you said, they're not usually starting off this fast. I'm curious to see if they can hold it up. I would like them to. Obviously, like I said, I root for them, so I would like them to. Who's your next surprise, Prophet? Let you go first on this one.
All right. Well, I got. I'll just go in line. KC. KC is a big surprise to me. Here's a team that won 56 games last year, and they're currently in second place in the AL Central. They're not doing it with hitting. I mean, they've got some nice young pitching. I mean, they're what? Let me say, they got a 3.39 team ERA, and that's I think that's good for like fifth or sixth in the league, and they're shutting people down.
Well, they pitching that that's a tough ball. Or it's a pitcher's park. I know they haven't done it recently, but I know that what the hell's the name of the stadium?
I don't know. It used to be Kauffman. Is it still?
No, I don't think so. I forget, but it's a pitcher's park. So I always liked the Royals just because I like their uniforms, man. Growing up, like, I was a Royals fan. Like, I liked the Phillies and the Royals in the AL because I liked their uniforms. It was weird, but I didn't realize that
George Brett and Bo Jackson.
I didn't realize that the Royals were having the year they were until we were. I was doing a little bit of research for this segment, so it was kind of curious to see them, up as high as they are. So
Larry said it is Kauffman Stadium.
It is still. Yeah. Well, they got those. They used to have those fountains in the back. I don't know if they still have them or not, but. My next surprise is not so much from a good standpoint, but a bad standpoint, and I touched on them earlier, is these Arizona Diamondbacks. All right, the Diamondbacks go from the World Series last year to where are they right now? I'm looking here. They're sitting third place in the NL West. They're 16-20. Corbin Carroll is nowhere to be found. He's had a very slow start. These guys, everybody makes him out to be the next Mr. America, and he's just, like I said, he's not getting it done this year at the plate. From a pitching standpoint, I know Gowan's on my fantasy team. How's he doing? I don't know. The bullpen is like one of the bottom in the league. They are plagued by injuries here. Reading up on it, they got some injuries. They got some guys coming back. We'll see if that plays into it. But like you said, nobody really expected these Diamondbacks to be in the situation that they're in right now. So I got them as one of my low end surprises.
I'm liking the Diamondbacks last year to I believe it was like the '80 Phillies. I mean, they were the same type of team. They were a team of misfits, that just gelled together, and they had their year. It's possible that they might go back to the way they were 2 years ago now. It's not like they're they're a good.
Well, they got guys coming back. They got guys coming back from injury, so they'll see if they start turning it on. But baseball is one of those sports, man. It's weird. You could have an off year. It happens.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Who's your next surprise for the year?
Next is I got the Yankees. which may
Okay.
seem kind of odd, because they're the Yankees, okay? But and they're 24-13. They're winning games without a number one pitcher. I mean, they have no pitching. They got Marcus Stroman, Carlos Rodon, Nestor Cortez, I think. They have no pitching and they're winning games. And they're really not.
Rodon used to be Carlos Rodon used to be the man. I don't think he's having a great year this year.
But I actually thought this was going to be a little bit of a down year for the Yanks, and with Garrett Coles, he may or may not play this year, and they're in second place.
They're in second place,
but not.
Not for nothing though, Prophet. You need the Yankees to be relevant.
Sure.
America needs the Yankees to be relevant. Baseball needs the Yankees to be relevant. They're the Yankees, man. You can't have them sit in the cellar too long. So they need to, do what they need to do to get back in the conversation here. But I just think the game of baseball is better when the Yankees are involved in the races, I think.
Well, sure, because I'm going to say probably 5 Sunday nights a year the Yankees and the Red Sox are on, and on ESPN. So if you got to watch them that often, you want them to be good.
Sure, and I do enjoy Sunday night baseball sometimes. Come home from a day of beer league softball, hitting a couple dingers like myself. That's what I usually do. Hit a couple dingers, go out, have a couple cocktails, come home, shower up, throw some sweats on, maybe some slippers, cuddle up with a nice bowl of chocolate ice cream and throw on Sunday night baseball. Fall asleep, you wake up, the ice cream's all over your chest, mess in your bed. But I like it. It's fun. I just hope that it's chocolate ice cream. So.
Yeah, right.
My next surprise of the MLB season is a team that nobody wants, Prophet. Nobody wants these guys. The Oakland Athletics. They get about 2,000 fans out to the games, if that. They're moving stadiums next year. They're supposed to be moving cities in 3 years or whatever, going to Vegas. Vegas don't want them. They're not lighting the world on fire here, but they're sitting at third place in the AL West. They're 3 games. They're 3 games back. They're 18-20. Prophet.
Now you talk about.
Okay, so they're 19-20.
No, they were 17-20.
Okay, yeah, they're okay. Yeah. They're 18-20. You got one of the lowest payrolls in the Major League Baseball, if not the lowest, I think. And nobody wants it. And they're sitting here and they're playing good ball. Am I breaking up here?
Yeah, you were freezing for a second there.
Yeah, I said nobody wants.
I almost had to take over.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi tonight. It's a good thing it's the last night. I got to get these connection issues fixed. But yeah, nobody wants these guys, and they're playing good ball, and they're sticking it to everybody. So it's kind of refreshing to see. They're doing it with some young guys. They're doing it with some pitching. They got a pitcher. They got a closer, Mason something, who throws 103 miles an hour. I'm sure he'll wind up getting Tommy John at some point, right? But for now, he's selling tickets, putting butts in seats. People want to see him.
Well, the best part of the Athletics is that they are the best profit team in baseball. I think they're like plus 1,200 on the year. Go before today. So yeah, they're the best. They're the best betting team in baseball.
I thought you meant like from a stadium standpoint. I'm like, they're making a profit.
Oh no. Yeah. We're making profit betting on them.
Oh, you are, but
well, all you have to do is subscribe to my damn email.
Okay. That was my last surprise. So you can hit me with you got one more or 2 more?
I've got one.
Okay. Let's wrap this segment up then. Who you got?
It's them lowly Stros, man. what
Ooh,
what is happening to this team? I mean, they're underneath of the Oakland Athletics right now. They're 12-23 on the year, and I mean they're not hitting the ball. Their pitchers can't get anybody out. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with this team, man, but they got too much talent to be playing 333 baseball. And
well, you know what it is. They're not wearing wires anymore. They're not stealing signs. They're not, they're not cheating anymore. So that the times are catching up to them. Prophet.
that could be, I never thought about that. That could be a problem.
Even though they, apparently they've not been cheating for a while. So we'll see.
I mean, I'm sure they'll get it turned around, but right now, today, they're my biggest surprise in baseball.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sling'n Proffet spending a segment on baseball. Never thought it would happen, but here we are on May 8th, 2024, before we go on our spring break, talking about baseball. So there you have it. If you're an MLB fan, you got our surprises of the year. Let's go Phillies. We're rolling on into this thing, and we're going to talk about our Sling'n Proffet plays of the week that I know everybody looks forward to every week. So touching on our recap from last week, I put 15 across the board on Just Steal. It didn't hit, but then I hit this exacta here and put me right back in the. Put me right back in. What? What's the problem? Why are you laughing?
Oh my god!
I hit this exact. I hit the 3-2 exact. It put me right back in the green. Nice $156. So I ended the week up. I wound up winning about $120 for the week. Put me at $333 heading into the break here. Prophet, you lost with Min Woo Lee. You lost with Seamus Powers, but you won with Adam Schenk. Talk about your week and what you think about it.
Well, it was an unlucky week, and it's crazy because we started out Saturday on the Derby. I touched on the traffic resilience ran into. I call that unlucky. Watching last week, I told you that we were going to be in the black with these plays, and unfortunately, we didn't get there. But we should have been. Okay, Minwoo Lee on the 18th hole has a 6-foot birdie putt. He missed it. He overshot it by about 3 foot. he was so pissed off about missing the shot that he missed the 3-footer.
Oh my gosh!
He 3-putted a 6-foot putt.
That sounds like you shooting out there.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's crap.
And he came in minus 15.
Wait. I just thought about something. You don't think that him and the interpreter are in cahoots, do you?
Well, I think they watched the show, and for some reason they didn't want me to, be in the black this week.
I mean, no professional golfer is missing a 6-foot putt twice.
Well, it was 6 and 3.
6 and 3. Sorry.
Yeah. So he 3-putts a 6-footer, and instead of being 16, or he could have possibly been 17 under, and been in like 12th place. He makes a 3-footer, and he's 16 under and tied for 18th place, and we win. So it was an unlucky week. It was an unlucky week. So but hey, we still
sometimes that happens, Prophet, when it comes to gambling. Sure, we cashed 210, right? And I cashed 156. Like I just sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't.
Exactly.
Right. So we're moving on to this week. Excuse me. Let's talk about my picks for the week because I'm kind of all over the place here a little bit.
Wait. Are they going to be the same when we come back from break? as they are right now.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit and we'll match them up here. There's a big Premier League match on Saturday. Actually, huge Premier League slate, full slate, but this game stood out to me. Chelsea at Nottingham Forest. The last 2 times they met, the last 3 times they met, it's been draw, Nottingham by 1. I got Chelsea this time going into Nottingham Forest and knocking those guys off. I'm putting $100 on this game, Prophet. That's how confident I am. All right.
Okay.
I got Chelsea plus 100 to win 200. All right.
I'm writing it down.
Thursday baseball. I got the Milwaukee Brewers plus 1.5 over the St. Louis Cardinals. 50 will get you $76. Okay. And then Saturday, for the golf tournament, I got a little parlay. I know I got away from my parlays. People have been, emailing me saying, Sling, please bring it back. Please bring it back. We win so much money with your parlays. I get it. Like
it's all the bookies, right?
Right. Yeah. Please bring your parlays back. We need them. So by popular demand, my parlay is back. Okay. This is a golf parlay. I got Patrick Cantlay, finishing in the top 5. Parlayed with McIlroy in the top 10. Parlayed with Wyndham Clark in the top 20. Parlayed with Jordan Spieth in the top 20. That's plus 3,300. Okay. $10 to win 360. That's my plays for the week. Take them to the bank. What do you got for the week?
Sounds good. Okay. Again, another week of long shots in the golf tournament this weekend. We got let me see. All three guys we got 20 to win on them and 80 to come in second in the top 20. Okay. The numbers you could see, we'll worry about the winnings when they come in. Okay. But we got Christian Kirk, we got Lucas Glover, and we got Charlie Knapp. I think his name is John Knapp. Okay,
isn't Christian Kirk a receiver for the Jaguars?
Yeah, he is. Well, this is a pro-am tournament this weekend. I don't.
We got Tony Romo next.
I don't know their first names. You
should have just said Captain Kirk.
I do my research on them and on who's going to win and just bring it home. At any rate, 20 to win on each of them, 80 on them to come in the top 20, and we stand to win a couple of grand here. We're going to get one of these long shots one of these weeks, okay? Trust me when I tell you that. We're going to get them. Guys, before we move on from the betting, DraftKings had in April a win your bet, okay, in baseball, for baseball betting. If you put a money line bet in, you go up 2 runs at any time during the game, you win the bet. Right then and there, whether your team wins or loses. It's carried over to May. It's something I've been winning a lot of money on, guys. Man, get in on it. If you're on DraftKings, get in on it. Money line baseball bets. You go up 2 runs at any time in the game's over. You won.
Sounds like pretty profitable type stuff here. If you know what I'm saying. So
always
I'll have to look into that. I'll have to look into that too. I got summer coming up. Teacher salary. I'm only getting paid 10 months, so I got to figure out somehow to get paid for the the other 2 months here. So I might have to be taking you up on these plays. But Prophet, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for us here. It's been Prophet. Let's talk about.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's go less than 3 minutes on Backlash here.
We'd be remiss. We talked about it last week. We should talk about the show.
I forgot to put it in.
Yeah.
WWE Backlash. It was what I expected. No major changes. The crowd was absolutely phenomenal. Every time they go to Europe, man, these crowds are out of control. And I don't know why we can't do it here in the States, but I was at WrestleMania and the crowd was sat on their hands the entire night. Granted, it was about 33 degrees out, but crowd was hot. I thought Priest had a good match, but again, nothing happened out of the ordinary that I noticed. What about you?
No, everything went as expected. The only title change was the women's tag team title, and you knew that was coming. They were going to put the belts on Belair and Cargill. It was a crazy show, though. Yes, I would love to see the fan enthusiasm, but maybe that's because they only get to see it once every 6 years or
Yeah, that's
so.
true.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you what I wouldn't. I'll tell you what I wouldn't like to see is I wouldn't like to see WWE give Europe more, pay-per-views and stuff like that. Like I just think they do so much overseas. It's just weird. I don't like watching a pay-per-view at 12 noon.
I mean, it's not bad for us. It's terrible for the West Coast, though, man. Yeah, it's like you got to get up and get your coffee ready, and get your Irish whiskey in it, and sit down at 9:00 to watch a wrestling pay-per-view. Yeah.
Luckily, Larry, I didn't know that. Larry says Samantha's still the ring announcer. I didn't notice her this week or this. It might be because I had it on friggin' mute, thank God, so I didn't have to deal with her ass. But yeah, I thought, like I said, it was a decent show, good matches, but nothing happened out of the ordinary that I wasn't expecting. So,
no, for sure, and surprised. I was just a little surprised that I mean, I don't know. Maybe Seth and Becky are on the Concord, had a Concord or something, man. But they were able to be in France and in Kentucky the same day.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty impressive. Yeah.
Teleporting and stuff like that, whatever that's called. One thing I got to touch on, I think when we come back, it's going to be a little touch and go over the summer for days for the show. So we might be Wednesday one week, Thursday another week, simply from my football schedule. So I'm letting you guys know now, regarding, whether depending on what my football schedule is, will really depend on the night of the show. I don't think it's a major deal changing it from one night. But we'll keep you guys posted as we go through. But hey, when did we start this show, Prophet?
Wednesday in December. I'm not sure what
started in December. Well, yeah, because we did it. We did a show from my house for Christmas.
Podcast week 1, week 13.
Week 13 of the NFL season.
Yep.
And here we are getting ready to take a little break, but we're diving into our first full NFL season, and I'm excited, man, because this is what we do. We're football guys, Prophet. We talk about sports, we talk about wrestling, we talk about a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, we're football guys, and I'm getting excited. I'm looking forward to a little time off here. I'll be honest with you, but hey, doesn't mean we're not watching the television. Doesn't mean we're not interacting. Doesn't mean we're not keeping up on everything, because we're going to be ready to come back in June and dive right into this NFL season and really we're talking fantasy football, we're talking division projections, we're talking about everything that you come to love from Sling'n Proffet. We're getting back into it.
And also, guys, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what to expect, how long I'm going to be down, but I will be, as soon as I'm back up and going, I'll be putting plays I'll be giving plays to Sling to put out on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram, and all them other good things. When are they ever going to stop saying that? X. Everybody knows it's X still now. Why do you still have to add?
My goal is to teach you how to, use this show and use social media and stuff like that. So this isn't a one-man deal here, Prophet, all right? You're going to start pulling your weight on this show. Anyway, as a special treat for you guys tonight, on our way out, I brought back the on this date segment for one, well, maybe not one night only, but hey, I brought it back for tonight, and there's a couple good ones here, Prophet. May 8th was a big day in 1945 because World War II ended in Europe. Following Germany's unconditional surrender, World War II in Europe officially ended at midnight on this day in 1945, although the war in the Pacific continued until the Japanese surrendered in November. Prophet, what do you remember about World War II? Probably not a lot, right?
Just the stories that Prophet Senior and my father talked to me about, over the years. So
isn't Prophet Senior and your father the same person?
That's a little confusing, but no, I don't consider Mrs. Prophet's father a father-in-law.
Copy.
So,
got you. Anyway, we're moving on, and in this date, May 8th, 1970, a month after Paul McCartney announced that he had left the Beatles, the British rock group released Let It Be, their last original studio album to hit record shops. Prophet, the only reason I put this in there is because Let It Be is my favorite Beatles song. I love that song. I can listen to it all the time. Do you have a favorite Beatles song?
Absolutely. Strawberry Fields.
All right. I don't know that one.
Yeah, listen to
on this date in 1963, this is your birth year, Prophet. The first James Bond film, Dr. No, starring Sean Connery, premieres in the U.S. Were you a big James Bond fan, Prophet?
I was not a big fan, but I did enjoy him when I was younger, and with Sean Connery and Roger Moore. But once they changed it, it started to get too commercial. And I like the old James Bonds.
Yeah, I never got into it. Am I freezing still?
Yeah, you just did, but you're back.
Last one here.
Okay.
Last one. In 1915, the 41st Kentucky Derby winner, Joe Nodder, aboard Regret, wins in 2 minutes and 5 seconds. In 1915 was the 41st running of the Kentucky Derby. It shows you how long it's been around. 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Do you know what the winner ran on Saturday, Prophet?
No, but it probably around 2:02, 2:03. So that's not too bad.
2:03. So
yeah.
You're about 2 seconds faster here in 2024 than you were in 1915.
Yeah, and we're from a person standpoint, we're probably about 6 seconds faster, for a 100-yard dash than they were back then. But
I'm sure. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us, Prophet. That was fun to bring that segment back. There's a couple big events on this date, so I wanted to have some fun with it. But hey, we appreciate you guys joining us as always. Get ready, take a couple weeks off while every Wednesday night, maybe raise a glass and listen to an old episode and get our clicks up and get our views up and stuff like that. Help us out, and we're looking forward to being back with you. Come the end of June, pretty much until there might be a week here and there where we're calling out sick, but other than that, we're back for the duration, right?
Not if I learn how to run this program.
I don't know who's watching the one-man show, so other than that, hey, have a good night, everybody. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you guys in a few weeks.
Thank you all. We love you.